Mike, check. Justin Hunt, it's all happening. Thank you to everyone who's rocking with the channel, everyone who has donated to this channel through the Cash App or the Linktree. If you'd like to donate, the Cash App's right up there. And big thank you to all of my members, everyone who's joined this channel, especially shout out to my newest members, W.A. Walker. He rejoined. He's been here a couple of months. That's how dope this is. People rejoining. Big shout out to Skrilla and Trilla Skrilla, which is the same person who joined under 2 accounts on accident, but it's all happening either way. Big shout out to Roddy Rod, Marty McFly, Kozeric 1911, Another Day, Another Album. It's all happening. 9-second applause. Thank you. All right, so big stories today. This one is very interesting. This is a very interesting story. So in the history of the big three, there's been some interesting confrontations. When Kendrick dropped Control, that was a very big deal, and that reverberated on all corners of hip hop. After he dropped that verse, all kinds of people were responding to that verse. Okay, everybody was responding to that verse. Right, Papoose responded to that. People who weren't even mentioned responded to that verse. You know, there's a really famous interview with Pusha T because Pusha T was mentioned. And he said, oh, that's what's up. This is what you do in hip hop. This is the spirit of hip hop. The competition, the competitive nature of hip hop really shined in that moment. And but not everybody, took it as competition, right? I mean, obviously, it's been well documented. Drake didn't take highly to it. That's can be looked at as the public origin of this battle that we've just had. J. Cole is someone who I think in different interviews over time, it didn't seem like he was really big on it. Now, don't get me wrong. He didn't take it as harshly as Drake. Perhaps he wasn't asked about it as much. But J. Cole is kind of on that fence a little bit. All kinds of people were very upset about the King of New York line that is in that song as well. King of New York, king of both coasts, right? And really, Kendrick was flipping a Corrupt line. Corrupt actually kicked that line in one of his songs. And Kendrick was paying homage to it, but the King of New York line rubbed a lot of people wrong as well, okay? And on J. Cole's album, which album is this? Oh my gosh. It's the one before this one. Whatever mixtape is before this one. Someone help me out in the audience. I can't think of this right now. But it's the album that has 95 South on it. And it has the album where the song where he goes, put a red M on your head, put an M right on your head, you're Luigi brother now. One of the hardest lines, right? That's an incredible line. It's an incredible bar. Even though it's weird that J. Cole gets more violent as he gets older. Nevertheless, on that same project, he talks about how he can't believe his first fight in hip-hop was with Diddy. I can't believe my first fight in hip-hop was with Puff Daddy, right? And so he says that on that album. So in this conversation here, TDE President Punch, he's doing an interview on Tank's podcast. Now, we talked about Tank a couple of weeks ago because Tank says that Chris Brown has surpassed Michael Jackson. And every one of you guys got pissed off at me for even doing a story on that thing and for how I conducted that conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's all happening, right? And so Punch is on Tank's podcast, and he's talking about the reaction to Control. Kendrick was in Europe. When they got back from Europe, they get to New York and they said they want to hit the club and see how the song's reacting in the club. And this is a very interesting conversation. And he explains this J. Cole versus Puff Daddy fight. He doesn't say any names. That's why I'm giving you so much context. So let's take a look at it.
That y'all would know their names.
I'm sure.
All right, so bet. So the homie just did this song, right? Pissed the gang of people off. Everybody was mad at it. So when the song came out, he was overseas. Then he came back to the States. First place we stopped in was New York City. And the first thing we do is say, let's go to the club because we wanted to check the temperature, see what everybody was on.
Yeah.
LA stuff.
Yeah. Head down.
Yeah, so we get to the club. So one of the homies approached us and talking about this particular record. So we're going back and forth. Oh, it's not personal. It's just this and that. It's cool, whatever.
He said one of the homies approached us talking about this particular record. One of the homies approached us.
It's like if we playing basketball, I'm gonna try to beat you, you trying to beat me, and we good after. Like, yeah, okay, cool.
A friendly fade.
Friendly fade, if you will.
Yes.
Another one of the homies walk up, he a little drunk. He said, yeah, y'all niggas, y'all need to just go back and forth and keep it on wax or whatever. So the two dudes who approached, they get into a little back and forth, a little argument.
With each other?
With each other now.
Okay.
So that sounds like Diddy and J. Cole. I think J. Cole might be the first one. And I think Diddy, when he said a little drunk, that sounds like Diddy. Puff Daddy, be a little drunk. He'd be a little drunk. I think there's enough stories right now, enough court documents, enough eyewitness accounts. Diddy be a little drunk, among other things. So I think the first person he's talking about is Cole, and I think the second one is Puff Daddy. But let's see where this goes.
Because what we didn't know is they had got an argument before we got there. So they was kind of continuing it. So, okay, things settled and we go to the VIP. So in this VIP section is literally the front row of the Grammys. In this one section.
Yeah.
And it's four of us. We in there like we in there fans almost. Like, yo, that's so. The homie that got into it with the other one, he's sitting 2 steps down from me on the couch. So somebody right here, I'm right here. The rest of us, and then they came back to him. The ones who got in the altercation earlier, he's like, yeah. And if you ever say what you said to me earlier, nigga, and he grabbed a bottle from the table because he got all of the alcohol choice. And he said, what you gonna do? Hit me on my head with a bottle? He's like, nah, I'm gonna break it on the table, I'm gonna cut your throat. So it's like a movie.
Right.
Sounds like something Puff Daddy would say. Sound like I break it over the table and cut your throat. That sounds like something that would show up in a court document filed against Puff Daddy. That does sound like that. The average person, yeah, maybe I'll break it over your head. Maybe I'll pour it on you. Maybe I'll dump it on you. Puff Daddy, Diddy, no, I'm going to break it over the table and cut your throat with it. Oh, my God.
Like, ooh. So it's getting right. So it's getting tense. So the nigga stand on the ground, reached up and tried to grab dude by the neck. So dude reached around and fired on him. They both fell on the table, knocking all the drinks over. So all these celebrities just in this one spot. It's a scuffle now, huge scuffle. So it just sounds weird with no names. But another nigga came who was best friends with one of the super celebrities that was over there. He came and started beating up one of the niggas that was on the ground. So it's kind of clearing up, and he grabbed the nigga, put him close, and seen who it was. And this dude was signed to his homie, but he couldn't see. He didn't see. He had his glasses on, so he mopped him and looked like he felt so bad after the whole thing.
He was signed to him?
He was signed to this dude who was going at him. Yeah. His partner.
His partner came and jumped in
because he thought they was going at his man.
Yeah.
So whole scuffle breakdown. They get them out the club. A table was back set up in like less than 60 seconds.
Like it never happened.
Like it never happened, bro.
Fuck that up.
But the ratio from celebrity to regular person was like 70-30 maybe. So every section was like full of celebrities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, music people, movie people, whatever. I think it's like it never existed. But
they were prepared for that.
Oh man,
that happened in there before.
That was my favorite like night music.
A little dust up.
Right.
Keep the party going.
That's what a song can do. Yeah, right.
It can create a little dust up.
Song can create. Oh my goodness.
It can create a little dust up.
It absolutely can.
But apparently they ain't want no problem with y'all.
Oh no, it was good money.
Yeah. So let me focus back on you, nigga.
And what's funny,
I've been looking for you. You heard what I said earlier.
What's funny is the big dude who was in the thing. So it was over. He looked at me and pointed. He was like, "Look, he like every minute of it." Like, hey.
It's funny what a song can do. I mean, that's a line that stands out to me too from To Pimp a Butterfly when Kendrick is like, I recalled in that private hall when I was sitting down with Jay, he said, it's funny how one verse can F up the game. But this is another spillover from that Control verse, right? So Kendrick has Control and Kendrick has Like That. He has 2 verses. I personally think that they're 180 degrees in energy. Control was just some straight hip hop stuff. Like That was, okay, it's time to wrap this up. Time to wrap this up. But I thought this was a really crazy story right here. Let me know what you guys think about it. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel, follow at The Company Man on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views that's radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, yes, y'all. You don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.